What's up, everybody? Welcome to another midweek chat with Jasmin. I'm your host, Jasmin Bryant, your brand visibility coach, helping women coaches, network marketers, speakers, and small business owners become visible. Because when you're visible, you make money, my friends. So today I am so excited because we are talking with Eileen Head. We're going to talk about manifesting, and I'm pretty stoked. So I'm going to read a little bit about you here with my crappy handwriting. Eileen is the founder and owner of Life Equations Consulting. She's an intuitive Enneagram personality pattern and relationship coach, a speaker, a Reiki master, a hypnotherapist, and she helps you to use the law of attraction and manifesting practices to live your best life. And who doesn't want that? If you don't want your best life,
Absolutely.
don't watch. So, welcome, Eileen.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you for being here. And before I jump in to ask you my 80 bajillion questions, tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
I serve anyone who wants to lead a more conscious life, a life that is more full of fun, adventure, where your relationships are more connected, where you have dreams and want to bring those dreams into fruition and are willing to engage to create the foundation for doing that.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Like, as you say that, I have all of everything in my head just kind of swirling around about the things that I want to accomplish, the things I want to help other people accomplish. And, you know, just the whole just being happy and whole and just amazing.
The
So,
thing is, most of us don't know that we need to focus on that.
mhm.
And when The Secret came out, everybody was really excited. Whoop whoop! They put out all these dreams, these big dreams, and then for a lot of people, they didn't come true, and there was a lot of disappointment, which also created, "What if my dreams don't come true? Then I'll
Mhm.
be even more disappointed." So what people didn't realize is they need to have an action plan.
Yeah.
Once they put the dreams into consciousness, you need to work it. It's like planting a seed in the ground in the hot sun, and you plant it and you say, okay, grow. But you got
Mhm.
to water it, you got to nurture it, you got to let it develop and grow. And so that's what I mentor people to do.
Well, let's talk about that for a second because that's one of the things. You talk about people, they have these dreams, but there's no action plan in place. So let's talk about like some of the myths around manifesting because some people think it's just, well, I'm putting it out in the universe. I want to make $1 million this year, but then they do nothing to make that $1 million. So, can we just talk a little bit about what some of the myths are about manifesting and how we go about busting them so that we can have the life of our dreams?
One of the major things is that we have limiting beliefs
Mhm.
that are like gremlins working in the backgrounds. They're like malware that I want to, by the end of the year, I'm going to have $1 million in my bank account. But there's a alignment within yourself that doesn't believe that doesn't feel you're worthy, that doesn't, um, you need to meet the dream at the vibration it is.
Mhm.
Therefore, a lot of times you need to do the work to raise your vibration to that level.
Okay, and so how do people do that? I mean, do they just go and buy crystals? Like I have crystals on my desk because they work for me. But if someone just buys a random crystal, is that going to work? Like, how do they do it?
It's a process. So, what is vibrational energy? Vibrational energy is like tuning to a radio station. We are tuned to the station right now, and where communication is really clear. But if we're a bit off, if I wasn't able to connect on your channel, we wouldn't be able to communicate. So what we put out is what we attract back to us.
Mhm.
And so if we need to do some work like most of us have had to do. I lived a life where I was married for 35 years, and I was very unhappy in that relationship. We weren't
Mhm.
able to connect, and so I went into a victim pattern for many, many years. It was his fault. If only he would. And I was very unhappy. And then I started to learn about this and started to work on myself. I did leave that marriage. However, I have continued to work on myself, my consciousness. And one of the tools that I use is the Enneagram personalities. And people will say, the Ennea what? And they'll go, oh, I love the Enneagram, because it is one of the most sophisticated models to really show you how your personality was formed at the age of 7 to get the most love and attention in your family, how that became a belief that you needed to be a certain way. Those developed into patterns and roles and a personality. And what the Enneagram does is it helps you to understand all of that with compassion and all of your patterns, what people value in you, what your gifts are, and also what your challenges are with other people and with yourself. So when I found that and I looked at my own profile, it was like reading my own biography. It was like, how can that possibly be so accurate? Oh,
Wow.
I love that about myself. That's what people value in me. I didn't know those were the gifts that I bring. And then the other parts were the ones that stung a bit. Oh, we
Mhm.
don't like those so much, but we know about them. So those are the patterns that are sabotaging you in life that you start to work on. That releases, negative thoughts and patterns, and so that you can become more positive. You can reframe your mind because it gives you a construct of, here's how I can be my best self. This is what it looks like. These are the patterns I need to develop. And so the Enneagram is a foundation for me, and I teach people. It's life changing.
I can see that, and foundations are so important. I mean, you can't build a house without a sturdy foundation. Otherwise, you're it's not going to work. You're in a cenote. So I love that you teach people how to figure out their foundation and who they are. And it's funny because in a live that I did earlier this morning, that was one of the recurring themes is figuring out who you are so
Mhm.
that you can be more visible and you can talk to your ideal client or customer, to be yourself, because so many people don't know exactly who they are. They just know who they're trying to be or the version that they think people want, but they're not actually them.
Well, there's even a bigger gift of the Enneagram, because when you understand all 9 personalities and you're interacting with your client, you can sometimes pick up tips to help you understand which personality they are.
Hmm.
For the perfectors, you're going to have to need to have all your I's crossed and all your facts, and you better have it all right. And for the two supporters, they're looking for connection and nurturing and caring. They're generally the HR people. The three achievers are the salespeople. They're the go, 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 the achievement people. The four expressors are generally the creative, dramatic, emotional ones. The five contemplators are the intellects, the thinkers that create the systems. Like, who create Zuckerberg, who created Facebook. Those were people who were able to create concepts. The six questioner is an anxiety based personality.
Hmm.
And so when you're dealing with that client, you need to give them information that's going to take their anxiety down and learn to trust you. The seven optimister is the fun, whoop whoop fun. Everybody loves. They're the
Yeah.
party people. The eight asserters are generally the leaders. They are great leaders in the company. And the nine peace seekers are the ones that are easygoing, laid back, want to keep the peace, no conflict. So
Mm.
even those basic things, when you need to understand your own personality and then how your personality relates to them when you're talking to them. And that's the same as in personal relationships as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all connected. Um, can you be a mix of different personality types?
We have all those patterns within us,
Mm-hmm.
but we only have one ego and one main focus of attention because we want to be acknowledged and appreciated and loved in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And each personality feels emotionally loved and appreciated separately. So even knowing those, and maybe you don't know the personality they are in the beginning until you really get better at the Enneagram, but
Mm-hmm.
you know the 9 patterns. You can
Okay.
identify 9 patterns, and they're going to give you hints in their behavior. It
Mm-hmm.
was really funny the other day. Well, just yesterday, I was playing pickleball. Play pickleball every day. Love, 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 love. And there's a net between the two courts, and a ball. Someone said to this gal, "Oh, watch out! There's a ball behind you, rolling to you." And she picks up this ball and she looks around and she said, "Who's responsible for this ball?"
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's a perfecter. The rest of us were, oh, I think a ball, rolled into the court or whatever. It's not a judgment, but it's an understanding. And so
Mhm.
when you start to respond to the needs of your clients, then and people in relationship you're with, relationships can get connected much faster. There can be less conflict. Even when there is conflict, you can resolve it much quicker.
Okay. All right. And so, for you guys who are watching now and watching the replay, a little bit later, I'm going to drop a link that Eileen is sharing with you all where you can take the personality quiz, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So now let me ask you about balance, right? Because we have big dreams, but as you say, you need an action plan. So, how can people balance their big dreams, manifesting those dreams, and actually taking these practical steps to reach these goals?
So give me an example of a goal that you'd like to reach.
My goal, well, we'll go back to the $1 million. My goal is to have $1 million business within the next 2 years. That is
Okay.
my goal because that's a lot of women that I get to help to
Yeah.
reach that. So that
Okay.
that that's my
two
big year
years is
goal.
a really great goal. And so I would suggest you break that down into smaller segments.
Mhm.
So you don't get overwhelmed, you don't get disappointed. Maybe start with a 3-month goal. Do the math. What is it that I need to do and put in place so that how many clients do I need? At what fees are they going to pay me? What services am I going to offer them for those fees? And to get to the $1 million in 2 years. The bottom line is the intention of helping and caring and nurturing. That's the energy you're going to put into this.
Mhm.
So you bite it off and you don't just wait for it to happen, right? You're going to
Right.
have this action plan that you're going to put in place, and then you're going to focus on this. You are going to morning and night, you are going to focus on your short-term goal for that. And even more than that, what will that feel like? And feel that now. Feel
Mhm.
that now that you are that person who has earned not only the $1 million in 2 years, but you're feeling the gratitude of the women that you have helped.
Yeah. That's honestly, thank you for that because that is honestly one of my huge driving forces is like I don't have kids, but I am focused on helping moms because I have so many friends who have children and they have to, it's this constant struggle, right? I either make money from my job or I spend time with my family, but it's very hard to do both without doing one of them poorly. And and so, and I just see that and it is across like all income levels.
Yeah.
So
So here's a suggestion is
mhm,
many of our thoughts create beliefs that
yeah.
stop us,
Mhm,
right? And so for these women who are doing both, it is so important to acknowledge that you're giving your best, you're doing your best, enjoy the job and enjoy the family life. That's what's going to
mhm,
bring balance. You know, I got up this morning and oh, what like every day I look for something that helps me feel joy within
yeah.
myself. Whether it's you know, a new top I've thrifted and it didn't cost me a lot, but I really love it, or my chai tea. And there's a feeling, a tickly feeling that goes with that that helps me feel the joy. You know, it's what was it this morning? I don't know. Was it the bacon I was eating on my keto diet or whatever, right? It's really important that we begin to reframe our thoughts because we have programmed ourselves to live in the negative, to
Yeah.
not expect much. So we're not disappointed. Can you hear the vibration in my voice? Now, let me tell you about this top that I found that I put on today, and I thought, I really like this. This feels good.
Yeah.
Can you hear the difference in the energy of my voice? So
Mhm,
that is what we begin to do. We begin to do a practice of finding the joy, of finding the even in the busyness.
yeah.
I'm so grateful that I have a job that I can contribute to support to my family. I'm so grateful that I have these children. Um, as busy as it is, I will tell you that you will look back on these years that you now may see stressful, and you will look back and say, oh man, we had some good times. There are great memories. I loved that time.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that is honestly, that's how I try to live my life, and I try to help my friends and family even, and not just clients, because you can't put all the negativity out there and get good things.
No,
You know, it's funny. A couple weeks ago, I was flying to Asia for my birthday, and I've always said, Delta has this mystery thing where they will pick certain people up from the plane in Porsche Cayenne, and right, and they whisk you through the tarmac to your gate, to a private elevator, and it's like amazing, but you don't know, you can't buy it, right? It happened to me. Like, I see the car, and the first time I've ever seen the car on the tarmac, and I said, "Boy, wouldn't it be great if that were for me?" I get off the plane with 20 minutes to make my flight, the one flight that they have, and there's a lady standing there with my name on a board, and I'm like, "Is the car for me?" And she's like,
this didn't just happen to you, Jasmine.
"Yeah."
No, I want you to understand that you put that out there. You visualize that
Right.
possibility. You felt, what would that feel like? Wouldn't that be
Mhm.
great? You know, even when you were talking about that, there was excitement.
Yeah.
You created that. And that's what I want. Look for the small miracles that
Mhm.
come to you. I have manifested so many things. It's now that I'm on the vibration to be able to do that. Many small things, large things, so many things come to me now.
What Tell us what some of those things are. Like, what has been your favorite or the most unexpected?
Oh man, I'll give you three examples quickly. I was selling my house and it was in an older area, and realtors would knock on my door and they'd want to buy my house for land value. I'd say, no,
Oh.
I'm not selling it. So when I went to go sell it, a friend, a realtor said, I'll sell it to you. I'll sell it for you for $1,000, which is unheard of. Like they want a
Wow.
commission, right? He said, how much do you want to list it for? I wanted to list it for 65,000 over what he thought it was worth. He said,
Mm.
you'll never get that, but I'll list it. I sold my house in 3 weeks, 45,000 over list.
Wow.
and not over list, but what anyone had told me in
Mhm.
3 weeks in a repressed market. And then I found the house I'm in. I could show you pictures from my vision board, um, adult community, end unit, walkout basement, to the tree out front here, almost identical. So then I was playing pickleball a number of years ago, and a lot of my friends are married and they go south for the winter. And I thought, gee, I'd really like to go somewhere warm, but I'm single. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have anyone to go with, but I put it out there. Ooh, I would really like to go on a beach vacation. This guy phones me out of the blue. A friend of a friend said, I hear you want to go on a beach vacation. I said, yeah. He said, I have a condo on the beach in Puerto Morales, Mexico. I will rent it to you for $100 Canadian per person per week for 2 weeks in November.
Oh my gosh.
Whoever
That's
heard that, right?
awesome.
And then I had a friend invite me to Mazatlan to stay with her. I love the complex. And I said, I'm going to come back in January and I'm going to rent here. Everybody said, you won't get in here. It's always rented. And as I sat there, I thought, no, I feel I'm going to get back in. I got back in January, February, March, booked the next year. I'm booked to go down the end of October for my 4th year.
That is
And
awesome.
I found a way to financially do that. I rented out my house. Um, when we put it out there, we find ways to make it come
Mhm.
as long as it's in alignment with what we believe inside of us.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the work is changing those limiting beliefs.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I love that. And that it just, I mean, it made me think of, like all of my moves. I always find people are shocked that I
Yep.
find amazing places to live and in the best neighborhoods by accident, purely by accident. The
No
best
accident.
neighborhoods, yeah, no accident, right? The best neighborhoods for like crappy neighborhood money.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
it's insane.
Yeah.
And Delisa Abraham, she's popping in on Facebook Live and she says, you both look incredible. So thank you, Delisa.
Whoop, whoop, thank you. And that's another thing. Isn't that wonderful to give that energy, to give that compliment? That's something that raises vibration. I'm going to click here because I'm not seeing this on my side, but we'll see if
Oh,
that works.
can you see chat comments?
It says
Oh,
messages from the audience will display here.
oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway,
Um,
you can
I
tell
don't
me
know.
about it.
Yeah, as they come in, I'll read them out. Um, so, okay, we only have a couple more minutes, but I wanted to ask you about business success. Like visibility is really key and important in building your business, building your brand. And so, how can manifesting techniques help a business owner who is trying to be successful? And we touched on it a little bit, but trying to be successful and, being visible in an online space and just growing.
You need to know your niche. You
Mhm.
need to get really, really clear and nail your niche and be aligned with the niche. My niche is women 50 plus who are living a life going, is this all there is?
Mhm.
That's my niche. And then I serve them like you could be leading a juicier life. You could be leading a life with more excitement. I have coached couples where they've come to me and should I stay or should I go? She said, coach me through that. I'm leaving. And I have helped them re-engage, rejuvenate, and renew their relationship. I do that with the Enneagram by putting them together and helping them understand that. But um, so know your niche and then fill a service and be in love with what you're doing.
Mhm. I love that. And I love that you said juicy your life. Like that is saucy. I love
Like
it.
people say to me all the time, I follow you on Facebook. You're so lucky. No luck involved. I consciously choose to set my life up. I love pickleball. So I play pickleball 5 to 7 days a week. My kid's phone, I'll play it twice in one day. I love it. Find something that you're passionate about. I
Mhm.
love country dancing. So I country dance 23 spins in a row down the floor with these handsome guys.
Ah.
that's, you need to find that from within you. Maybe you take tentative steps in the beginning, or
Mhm.
maybe you come see me and I'll help you.
Exactly.
But there is a, I never imagined this when I was feeling a victim in this marriage of 35 years. Life was humdrum and dull, and I felt stuck, trapped, and powerless to change anything. Well, I changed it. I never imagined I'd have a life like this back then.
Yeah. And look at you now.
Hmm.
You've got your place in Mazatlan for the fourth year, pickleballing and line dancing and all of
Yeah.
the fun
You
things.
need to bring the energy into your life. If you're waiting for life to happen for you, life will choose for you, and it will choose at the vibration that you are at. It will continue to send you life lessons so you have an opportunity to learn. Why am I being challenged by this person? Why is this happening to me? So instead of the why, it's like, what do I need to learn from this? What is the life lesson here in this? As you learn that, you will move through, you will move up your vibration.
Oh yeah. And I have a friend who she lives in the struggle, right? Like the struggle is like it's ingrained in her. It's generational. This is who she is. And and then sometimes she'll look at me and think things come easy to me, and because I don't struggle the way she does.
Mhm.
And she, you know, for her it's she thinks it's a difference of upbringing or education, and I'm like, no, I don't
It's
believe in it.
choice.
Yeah.
People get attached to their victim story.
Mhm.
And if you hear them tell it over and over again, as a gift to them, say, I've heard your victim story and I want you to succeed. So tell me what you're going to do to elevate your life.
Yeah.
Tell me what's great in your life right now.
Mhm.
And life is a mind game, and we really need to use our mind to. I've got a friend who had a horrific, I mean horrific childhood, who
Oh,
is the most positive person I have ever met.
yeah. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. You can get out of that. Um, yeah, it's and attached to a story. And so you can say to them, do you want this to be your life story?
Mhm.
Do you want this to
Exactly.
be a chapter or life story? Because you're making it a life story.
Yeah.
And so that's your story.
That's your
You get
story.
to choose.
Ah, well, I think that is a perfect place to end this chat, Eileen. It's been great, and I dropped your link in so anyone who's watching, you can grab. Oops, you can grab these links. Live your best life call with Eileen. Also, the Enneagram personality test, and for anyone watching who is not already in my world, the 5 keys to beat camera shyness. You can grab that guide for free also. So,
I'd like to invite your audience. I have an online program coming out beginning mid September,
mhm.
and it is Create Your Vision Dream.
Ooh,
And it is about creating your statements. It's about creating a vision board. I'll help you do that and working with your vision. It's it's a smoking hot deal right now. I really encourage you to come and join me on this. I've got long-term coaching as well and the Enneagram test. So
okay.
come and join me.
All right. That sounds fantastic. I might have
I
to.
think my link on the Enneagram test needs. Someone said it's broken again, so I'll fix that
Ah,
later today.
okay.
But contact me. I'll verbally do it for you. I will teach you and instruct you so you can have a juicier life and live your best life.
I love that. I love it so much. Eileen Head, thank you so much for being with us today. And I hope you guys got some really great nuggets, some juicy nuggets out of this. This drive you don't have to be your story. Thank you.
For me, you've frozen on this end.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's internet is unstable.